So hello guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, we are going to learn how to download and install Ubuntu in VirtualBox in simple steps. Okay, so first of all, to download Ubuntu, you have to search Ubuntu download and then click on the first link. Then you will see Ubuntu 24 4 the 3 LTS. So you might think that what is LTS? You can either click here and you can see, or maybe hover like you can hover here to see it is long term support. It means you will get our updates for this 15 years, like you will get 15 years update for this, or you can just install this and you will get updates for almost 1 year, or in my case it's July 2026. So we are going to use Ubuntu LTS because most of the softwares you recommend the LTS and require the LTS version. So we for that we'll click on download, and after this screen, in a minute or a second, your download will start. So I have already downloaded the Ubuntu ISO image, so I'm gonna skip this part. Okay, so here's my Ubuntu ISO image. So now we will install it in VirtualBox. So let's move on to the VirtualBox screen. Okay, so now we are going to install Ubuntu in our virtual box. So first of all, we'll have to create a new virtual machine. For that, we will click on new, and then you can name it anything you want. Ubuntu. I am using Ubuntu new. Then in ISO image, click on the arrow, then other, then navigate to the location of your ISO image of Ubuntu. In your case, it might be in downloads or wherever you have saved it, and then click on open, and then here use any username you want and any password you want. I'm using one password 1234 just in case I forget it, so I can like use this. And for the host name, I'm gonna use server. You can use anything. And now let's change the hardware settings. I'm using 8 GB of RAM, which is 8192 in MBs, because I have 16 GB of RAMs in total in my host system. And processors, I'm gonna use 4. And let's talk about hard disk now. I'm going to use 100 GB of hard disk, sorry, not disks. And then click on finish. Then it will boot up on its own. When it does boot up, you'll get this screen. Just instantly power this off, because we are supposed to change some settings for this successful installation. Now click on settings, then go to display and increase the video memory to maximum, which is 128 MB, and select VBox VGA, and then hit OK. Then you can start this virtual machine now. And after few minutes, you will see screen like this, and your installation will begin. It will say prepare Ubuntu, and it might freeze or maybe lag sometimes while installing, which is very normal. So don't panic and just be patient. And you will get a screen like this. If you want to know the progress or what's happening in the background of installation, you can click on this icon of terminal to see what's going on at the moment. And it might look like it's freezed. Don't worry about it. It sometimes take very long time on a single thing. So this will take a while. So I'm taking a pause here. Okay, so now our Ubuntu was installed and now it's restarting. And when it will be restarting, we will check our machine settings because sometimes it doesn't eject the ISO file. So if it's showing anything here, you have to turn off the machine and remove the ISO file from here. But in my case, it is empty already. So I'm good to go. That is very rare case that your ISO file won't get ejected on its own. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so now let's enter the full screen mode. And for this, we'll say next, skip, next, finish. Okay, so now we will need to open our terminal. So for that, you have to go here on this logo. So after opening this, just search terminal and it will appear here and click on it. After installing Ubuntu, we will first update our Ubuntu operating system using sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. So it doesn't prompt us with the permission like we wanna or we don't wanna. So after that, we will enter our password and then we will wait for a few minutes. Okay, so now our Ubuntu is updated. So now we will install some Linux headers for VirtualBox guest edition images. So for that, we will use Linux headers -generic. Okay, Linux headers -generic. And then we'll hit enter and then press Y and hit enter again. And it will take some time again. Okay, so our Linux generic headers are installed now. Now we'll run that similar command again. Install. Now it will be sudo apt install linux headers hyphen dollar and in brace curly sorry not curly and in brackets we will type uname hyphen r. Okay, so the thing I missed here again is I missed the s here. Yeah, now we are good to go. And it was already installed in my case, but in your case it will install. And after installing everything, we'll do some cleanup using sudo apt auto remove and sudo apt auto clean. So what it will do is it will remove all your unnecessary packages and like free up some space on your disk. And after doing that, just hit uh, just enter clear and hit enter and then go to devices now and insert guest additions CD image. And after that, you will see a CD icon popping up here. And then in terminals, type cd/media and then hit ls. And then your username should appear there. And just cd into that folder, ls. And there will be a folder called vbox_gas. Just cd into that. And now you will see some files. So now what we will do is first we'll need some packages to run this one. So for that we will install sudo apt like so for that we will install bzip2 and tar. Okay, so I have already updated it. So after installing them, we will run this vbox linux edition.run file using // and just hit enter. Now it will take some time installing the VBox Linux editions, and we install VirtualBox Linux editions for clipboard transfer. For example, if you want to copy something from your host machine for like Windows to your Ubuntu machine to enable it and drag and drop in your virtual machine of Ubuntu. If you don't want these features, you are good without the VirtualBox editions. And when it will be installed, your screen will be in full screen mode on its own, and if it doesn't, just hit right control and F and then hit it again to go in full screen mode. And after doing this, just restart your machine. Go to machine and click on reset. It will restart your Ubuntu VM. Okay, so now our machine is restarted successfully. So now what we'll do is we will enable clipboard transfer and drag and drop features. So for that, go to devices menu and go to shared clipboard and select bidirectional. And after that, go to shared clipboard again and enable clipboard transfer file transfers. Click on it to enable it. And after that, go to drag and drop and select bidirectional again. So now if you copy something from your Ubuntu and try to paste it in here, it will work. And if you copy something from here and try to paste it here, it should work as it is. That's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching.